Hey everybody, my name is Deja and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my September TBR. This is not going to be the first video that y'all see in this location, but this is the first video I'm filming in this location, and this is obviously my dorm at college. I haven't filmed here yet, but it's a long time no speak. I have not filmed in a very long time, in probably like a month, so it's been crazy. College has been a mess already, and classes haven't even started by the time I'm filming this, but I actually should have more time a little bit when classes start because RA training has taken up a lot of my time, and we won't really have like training like all day stuff. It'll just be like a couple things a week, not all day every day. But I'm really excited to start classes and everything, but that's like not what we're here for. We're here for the TBR. But yes, this is my first full month of being an RA, and also my first full month of classes, and I don't even know how classes are gonna go, but I'm participating in 3 readathons because that's me.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
I've kind of been chiller. Like the full moon readathon I was supposed to participate in, and I didn't complete every single thing on there. I didn't get to all the prompts like I wanted to, but I'm just like, it was fun to participate, you know? So I'm going to just try and do that again. And one of the readathons I'm actually hosting, and that is the dark romance readathon that I'm hosting with a bunch of other people, and the announcement video should have gone up before this. So if you want to know more about that, you can check that out. I'm only doing one row of the bingo board, so I'm trying not to go too overboard, but I have 2 other readathons that I'm participating in. I'm also participating in the Losers Club readathon, which is being hosted by Beth from Beth's All Booked, Elizabeth from Reading Riley, and Ashley from Ashley's Little Library. And I'm also participating in Becca's bookoplathon because I love the month-long round. It's like one of my favorites, so obviously I have to participate. And that one is month-long. The other 2 are week-long, and they don't overlap at all, which is fantastic. So I think for this I'm going to go over my general book clubs, other things that I'm doing, then go through the dark romance readathon. I didn't mean to flip y'all off. The dark romance readathon and the Losers Club readathon, and then go into Becca's bookoplathon. I did my TBR for the other 2 readathons first, and then I'm going to do my rolls for Becca's bookoplathon to see if they the books just fit in. So obviously my 2 book clubs that I participate in every single month that I'm a host of are Swin Sisters and Stacks of Strange. Swin Sisters is the romance book club that I host. Nicole from Who Picked This Book, our September book club pick, is going to be Getting Schooled by Christina C. Jones. I've been really wanting to read a Christina C. Jones, and it is part of my 22 books to read in 2022. That's why I wanted to put one of them in our polls, and it ended up winning, obviously. So yeah, that is what we're going to be reading, and I believe that this is like a teacher romance, and that's all I really know. I know at least one of them is teachers. That's it. But I'm excited to read a Christina C. Jones, so that's why. Yes. And I know Nicole has already read this, and I didn't even know that when I put it on the poll. I thought she read a different Christina C. Jones, but she said it was okay, and she barely remembered it, so yeah. And then for Stacks of Strange, we are reading Mary by Nate Cassidy. I literally know nothing about this book. I think it either recently came out or it's just about to come out, and I know nothing about this, but everybody else was really excited for it, so I probably will read this one. Some of the ones that we've chosen in the past that I didn't know that much about, I just sat out of, but I actually do think I have an interest in this one, even though I don't know what it's about. But the cover intrigues me, and I think I read part of the synopsis and it sounded interesting. And then I'm participating in one other book club during September, but our live show is going to be in October, and that is for the Full Moon Book Club hosted by Jan Agaton, and we are reading The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson, who is one of my favorite authors. I read 4 of her 5 backlist books, and so I want to try and read White Smoke. That's the only other book of hers that I haven't read yet. The Weight of Blood is a Carrie retelling written by Tiffany D. Jackson. I'm literally so excited, especially because the Losers Club readathon is happening, so it's going to be a very Stephen King centric month, and Stephen and I are not like the bestest of friends, but I'm not mad at it. It'll be fun. And then for the dark romance readathon, that is happening from the 4th to the 11th, and there is a bingo board. As I said, I will pop in a picture to the side of me. I'm actually going to be doing the middle horizontal row, so I do have a free space, but I'm using that for the group book. So the first book on that is a book with trigger warnings, and for that I'm going to do Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRoux. I started this book I believe in July, and I only got like 5% in, but I was really enjoying it, and a lot of my friends love this book, so I definitely want to read it for sure. And this is like a retelling, and this is a book where I forget what the guy is, but like I think he's like a demon or a devil or something, and he wants to suck out this girl's soul. So that's interesting, and I know that this book definitely has some trigger warnings, but I'm not really concerned about that. And then for the free space in the middle, I'm going to be using the group book, as I said, and we're reading The Madhouse by Liza. This book has not come out yet when I'm filming this. It comes out August 26th, I believe. It's like August 20 something, and so it has no reviews. It doesn't even have a synopsis on Goodreads. I have no idea what it's about. Amanda just picked it, and I was like, okay. And I know she really does like Liza James, so I'm excited to read it. And the last prompt in that row is a serial killer romance, and for that I'm going to go with a book in the mindf series. I still have only read the first two. I was supposed to read one of these for the full moon book. I was supposed to read one of these for the full moon readathon. Didn't get to it, so I definitely will max read one in the time that this readathon starts. I probably won't read any, to be honest, so I'll definitely have at least one to read for sure. I pretty much can guarantee that. So yeah, again, I do really want to continue on with this series, but the beginning of August was a miss. And plus that book is a novella, so it'll be like quicker to read, and that will hopefully help me out with the rest of my TBR for the month. So now moving on to the Losers Club readathon, they said that they have like different tiers of like what you can become, all the way from like a visitor to like you get the key to the city. Obviously I want the key to the city, so that means you're required to do all 10 prompts. 2 of them are life prompts. You just have to join in the movie watch along and then also fix yourself a drink. So then there's 8 reading prompts, but I like overlap them as much as possible, so hopefully I'll be able to get all of them read, but we'll see. So the first prompt is Paul Bunyan statue, which is read a book with red on the cover, and I'm going to be reading the group book 1922 for that. This is also a novella, and that is for the movie watch along. And I also am going to be using that for the prompt The Barons, which is read the buddy read, because that is the buddy read / group book, or whatever you want to call it. As I said, the Aladdin movie theater prompt is to join the movie watch, and then the Falcon Bar is to fix yourself a drink. And then the next prompt is Town Dump, which is read a book that you bought secondhand, and for that I'm going to be reading Gerald's Game. I bought this book secondhand. You can see that's why it has the plastic on it, but I've been actually really wanting to read this book like pretty bad, I'm not gonna even lie, because I really want to watch the movie and it sounds really good. It's about a woman who gets handcuffed because she's like doing some stuff with her husband, and then he like dies, and then she's just stuck there handcuffed. And I don't think that she's like alone in this house, because I think it's like a cabin. They were going there for like vacation. So I'm going to be using Gerald's Game for that prompt. And then also one of the other prompts is Beverly's House, which is read a book that has a female protagonist, and this one does have a female protagonist. And it also counts for The Old House, which is read a book with a creepy setting. I don't know if the setting is necessarily like creepy, but it described that they went into a Maine summer house, and that she's not alone and she's trapped in a lake house that has become a prison. So the fact that they said it became like a prison is what made me really just put it for this prompt, and I feel like it'll work regardless. And so the next prompt is Derry Public Library, read a book blurb / recommended by Stephen King, and for that I'm going with The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. I've been really meaning to pick up a Paul Tremblay because he's really divisive, and I don't know if I'm gonna like him, but I want to know. And it does have a blurb from Stephen right on the top. It says Tremblay's personal best, it's that good. I know that Paul Tremblay just came out with a book recently that people have been overall I think pretty much liking, and so I know that this one like is very vague in ending, and it sounds like The Strangers kind of. It's like about this these 2 husbands that take their daughter and they go to this cabin, and like the world is ending, and these people like break into their home and say that the world is ending, but they don't know if they're like actually just like delusional, if the world is actually ending. So I'm excited. I don't really like apocalyptic, but like apocalyptic, maybe delusion, break-in, probably a little speculative based off what I've heard about Paul Tremblay. It sounds like it could be a really interesting good time. And for the last 2 prompts for the readathon, they are Derry High School, read a book with a school setting, and also Bill's House, which is read a book by a favorite author. And so for that I'm going to knock those out with Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. This is like a bully romance, and I started this one actually last summer in 2021 because I remember listening to it when I was working at Barnes & Noble. So I definitely believe that the main female character is in high school, so we still see her like in school, and I really do like Penelope Douglas. I don't know if I would consider her like a favorite author, but Pump 57 is literally fantastic. And so for bookoplathon I decided to do 5 rolls. I was debating on doing 3, but I was just gonna like see how nice the board was being to me, but the board was actually super nice to me, so I did 5 rolls. So let's flash back to that first roll. So I hope this angle is okay for y'all. I am at college, so I could print this out, but I'm gonna save paper. Normally, last time I remade the board and the AC just kicked on, so sorry if you hear that, but I'm using this little origami frog that my friend made me as my piece, and we're supposed to start on this randomize your TBR spot. So I have a dice roller on my phone, and we're just going to roll it, and I got 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that says people. So as y'all saw, the first roll, I got the prompt just people, so this could be up to your interpretation. So for this one, I just put Getting Schooled by Christina C. Jones because it has a personal, or 2 people, it has their legs and feet on the cover. So moving on to the second roll. So for the second roll, we are rolling the dice, and we got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had to read what it says, but it says published or set since 2020. And so for roll 2, I got published / set since 2020, and for that I'm going with The Weight of Blood because this book is coming out this year. It hasn't even come out yet, and Married by Nat Cassidy also came out this year. So both those books work for this prompt, as well as The Madhouse by Liza James also comes out is relatively soon. So any of those 3 really fulfill this prompt. Moving on to roll number 3. So here is the third roll, which we got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that prompt is favorite genre. So for roll 3, I got favorite genre, and I always say my favorite genres are romance, horror, and thrillers, because honestly recently, because of RA training and being here, a lot of people have been asking me like, what kind of genres do you read, like what do you read? And I've been saying romance, thrillers, and horror. So any of those I would say count, but I'm just gonna go with the romance for this because dark romance is like my favorite romance, and so I'm just gonna go with Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. So I'm gonna be reading that anyways for the Losers Club readathon, so I just put it for that prompt because I do love dark romance, and that's like my favorite genre, that and horror. So moving on to roll 4. Roll 4. We got 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right here. And that prompt is a mood read. So for roll 4, I got a mood read, and this one I'm just going to leave empty, honestly, because any of the books that I'm going to be reading can fulfill this, or maybe I'll actually do like a full-on mood read where I just like pick a random book, and if I do, it will probably be Magnolia Parks, because I don't think I'm going to finish that by the end of August, so that might be the book that I read for this, or if I don't have time to even get to that, I'll just probably fill it in with one of the other books from this TBR. And moving on to the last roll, roll 5. And our last and final roll, number 5, is 8 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is a chance card. So obviously, as you saw, the last roll is a chance card, and I actually created a spinner wheel list of all of the books that I brought with me that I don't have plans for specific videos. So this is the list. There's 31 entries. I'm just going to click this shuffle button a couple times because I just put them in the order that I saw them on the cart, and I'm just going to click spin, and we will see what I get. It's going. I got Secrets and Truths. Okay, I'm really excited for this one. Let me get it. So I got Secrets and Truths by Whitney Hill. I was about to say Hall. I got Secrets and Truths by Whitney Hill, and this book was actually sent to me by Vina from WOC Reader, and this is like a paranormal fantasy romance that takes place in the city that I live with a half-elven bounty hunter and a vampire. So it sounds really good. I've been really wanting to read it, especially because Vina recommended it to me and sent it to me. So thank you again so much, Vina. And I'm excited that I actually have it in my TBR, so I have the motivation to pick it up, because with other TBRs I just haven't put it on them, and it just hasn't necessarily fit prompts and stuff like that, so I haven't really had the time to read it, but now is the time. September is the time. So I have 11 books on this TBR, which truly is like not that bad. I could definitely get it done as long as I put my mind to it, so I'm really excited actually about this TBR, and I think it's gonna be so fun. I'm excited for all these readathons, and I will have the links to everything about all of these readathons down below if you want to participate in them, especially the dark romance readathon. It's going to be so much fun. But obviously, of course, bookoplathon and also the Losers Club readathon will be down below as well if you would like to participate and learn more about them. Sorry if I wasn't as like funny and whatever as I normally am. I'm not used to filming with other people who can literally hear me right on the other side of the door. Like, they can literally hear me talking right now. So I'm not really used to that, so I have to like get into the groove of like being used to people hearing me. If you made it to the end of this video, leave a little balloon emoji down below for, you know, y'all will all float too, you know, Stephen King, whatever. Yeah, leave the little like red balloon emoji down below, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye everybody.
Trying to look like you're winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in. Yeah, you got the nerve to be on me, faking your life at